Well, good evening, Blues fans. Gru's Blues Review here, and I'm Gru, and this is my review on the Blues. I know, a little corny. Anyway, tonight the Blues had the second game of back-to-backs after winning last night against the Capitals. They start Jordan Bennington tonight, and they went up against the New York Islanders. And unfortunately, they lose this game 2-1 in overtime. Jordan Eberle getting the goal early in the first period. Bottom line is that wasn't interference on the goaltender Jordan Bennington. I don't know why the Blues tried to fight that. The bottom line was is that they shouldn't have left Jordan Eberle alone to get the rebound there and just lift it under the crossbar. Anyway, so 1-0, and then no more scoring until the third period when David Perron scores and makes it 1-1 and keeps his point streak going with the Blues. So he's playing some great hockey right now, and this is great to see as he continues to help the Blues here. So 1-1 going to overtime, and I don't know what Vince Dunn was thinking in that overtime with drop pass and giving it up and just telegraphing a pass, and the Islanders pretty much had control of it the rest of the time, and then making that move to go to change a line change and just leaving Jordan Bennington pretty much out to dry there. And what ends up happening is a goal for a Filippola. I always forget his last name. Sorry about that. Anyway, though, 2-1, the final. They win in overtime. A couple of things to take away from this game. Jordan Bennington, he played very well in goal again, I thought, especially in the third period. He made a couple of very big saves to keep it tied at 1-1. And yeah, he gets his first loss in the NHL, but I still go back with him. I think he's still playing strong in net. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what Coach Berube decides to do. If he decides to go back to Allen for the next game, then if he's going to say something like, he's going to use the kind of thought process of, if you win, I play you next game type of thing, unless there's a back to back, then okay, then I can understand that. But we'll just see what he does. The other thing, too, about with the Blues is that I felt that they played a good game, even though they lost in overtime and they were down 1-0 early. I thought they played a pretty good game. One of the problems, and this was something that was pointed out on the telecast and on the radio too, is that the Islanders' style of play, they really box out really well. They barely play a 1-2-2; it's almost a 1-4, and they really protect the middle of the ice. So a lot of the Blues goals, I'm sorry, Blues shots, excuse me, were from the outside perimeter until finally David Perron got that goal, where it was a nice feed from O'Reilly from behind the net and jammed it home. One other side note to make here is the Islanders goaltender Robin Lehner, who has had his battles in life and is doing very well this year, leading the league in goals against average coming into tonight's game. His mask, I just was like, what is the deal with this mask? I thought it looked kind of stupid, kind of weird. But then I remember, you know what? Don't judge a book by its cover. And I looked it up, and I suggest you look it up too. Robin Lehner's goalie mask. I mean, it's got a great story behind it, what it means, and for everything that he's gone through so far in his life, and kind of putting it as an animation on his mask. I just think it's a cool story. So check that out. And he's a good goalie. I mean, he's having a great year, and good for him. So anyway, the Blues lose 2-1 to the New York Islanders, and now they'll be heading on to the next game, and we'll see where they go from there. So anyway, take care, Blues fans. Talk to you soon.